Hi, and welcome to my channel, and to a game called Neyyah. For those of you who remember a series of games by Cyan Interactive, such as Myst and Riven, you will recognise the style of play. It employs a system of rendered images that uses point and click to navigate. The games of that era used this system to offer highly detailed rendered games where computers of that time were incapable of rendering that level of detail in real time. Computers have evolved a lot since then, which is why Riven was re-released recently, offering the same gameplay as the original but in free roam and VR2. The world in Neyyah is beautifully crafted, but I do feel that this game would have been much better if they hadn't used an old style of navigation. It feels restrictive and at times very frustrating, but that's my personal opinion. You may feel differently. If so, let me know in the comments below. But you haven't come here to hear my opinions. You're here because, like me, you're stuck and need help getting through. Don't feel as though this is cheating, for I too needed help getting through. This is one of the most challenging games I've ever played, so feel free to use my video as a guide to help you over the next hurdle. You can use the chapter selection in the description to jump to various points. So with that, let's get started.
Greetings. I'm Vamir, head scientist here on Olajay. I'm sure you're wondering why you've been torn from one reality and thrown into another. Basically, your arrival was foretold by an ancient spirit, and your mission will change the fate of the world. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Behind you, there is a key. It will operate the bridge to the Jalood station. Press the button to get inside. The Jalood will take you to Neyyah. In the name of Vezalta, your existence changes everything. Go to Neyyah. Save us all, like the Pelska foretold.
You may notice that I've chosen guided as gameplay. It offers journey tools in which you absolutely should use, as they offer insights into the information you'll need. Among these are the maps for each area you'll visit. Here is the guide for the controls for navigating. And in this area there's an item we need to pick up. My recommendation is that you explore everything. Look at everything you can find and read everything. Here is the key we need. Just click on it and it will be added to your inventory. Items of interest will also be added to your traveller's guide. Here you can click on an item, view it, and you can visit it at any time during the game. This is the receptacle for taking the key. Just open your inventory, select the item, and then click on the place where it's going. There's a lot of lore in this game and a lot of reading to do. I'm not going to include it all, just the important bits for helping to get through to the end of the game. Your cursor will turn blue for any items that are interactive. Many transitions can be skipped by clicking at the start of the transition, although some cannot, such as this one. Here you can see we are now in the arrival area. Looking at the map, it shows the area, and we are by the red portal. Turn around and look at the craft. Take note of the colours inside. The order is red, blue, green and yellow. Down this path we find a device. This is the area called the heater servers. This box is relevant, so take note of it. On either side of this heater server we have a cabinet with fuses we can collect. Take them, we will need them later. You can see here we have numbers called Trondi that we need to enter in order to activate this system. We won't know that for a while yet. We are approaching a portal. On the right is a box and inside is a computer. Read the message from Vamir. Then enter the colour code that we got from the craft we travelled in earlier. That's red, blue, green and yellow. Here I'm going to increase the speed of the transitions, although you can skip them manually. I'm also going to turn on faster travel. This portal is now active, so let's go through. When arriving in new areas, do take your time in looking around. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to head straight to our next objective.
Ah, Vamir. I've just finished stacking these heater shells. What did you do with the fourth one? You're not Vamir. Are you the one they were talking about? Vamir and the Pelska? Yes, she said you would come. But what if she's working for Spores?
Did he send you here?
Oh, Took too long. I mean, Vamir was never gonna trap... anyone? I should have... I must get to Ullajay.
Here, we've received our first achievement.
So, I heard Mason went through the portal and blew himself up, along with the Jalood. Why would he do that? Such a waste. You must return to Ullajay. The portal that brought you to the lab will take you to the other Jalood. It will be useless to you, of course, without the right programming, which is why you must find the secret portal.
Pick up the book. In it is a transcript of the video call from Vamir. You can also see here there are extra instructions and also some incomplete transmissions, which will become more clear during the game. To the right is a cabinet, but we can't interact with that at the moment. Collect the box. This is your Payeeta case. In it are various devices for unlocking puzzles. Turn back around, and now you can see we can interact with the cabinet. This mentions something called a Pelska portal. This symbol is related to the Pelska portal. We will see it in various places throughout the game. Open the cabinet and collect the Pelska portal. This computer requires a code to unlock the door. Let's see if we can find it. Here we see some symbols. Note the symbols in order of the numbers. Enter them into the computer. You have just unlocked a journal. Collect it and immediately read it by pressing J. Here are the instructions on how to get to the Payeeta factory. We are now back at the area where we first met Mason. Here is a button, but we can't get to it because we need a key. We'll head back outside the way we came in. Look out the window at the top of the elevator. Here we can activate fast travel by pressing F. We need to head back to the arrival area. This explains how the faster travel works. First we need to head to this boiler. Here we need to enter our first Payeeta. Take a look at this device. Turn on this tap. Now pull this lever. Inside we are now able to collect some salt. Head back to the craft and press the button on the left. Approach it and remove the fuse. We now have a Jalood fuse. This door is locked. We need to find a way to open it. Head up this staircase and take the first turning on the right. In this building, set the lever to the right. head back down the stairs and to the previous door. Follow this walkway. Enter this craft and push the button to the left. Then activate the lever. I'm going to speed up the video here as this transition is very long. This is the dome zone. Here we find a lock, but we have no key for it. Disable the force field and enter straight through the dome. There's nothing of interest in here. We have found the Payeeta factory zone. Turn this lever to open the door behind. Once inside, turn round and take note of the symbol on the door. We'll need this. That looked like a question mark. Look at this central cylinder and open the doors. Inside, there seem to be gas masks. Next to this door is a ladder. Climb it. At the top is a lever. Pull the lever down. Carry on round to another door and open it. This gas mask can be collected. Next, open the door that is to the left of the way we came in. Take a look at this telescope. Recognise that symbol? Climb this ladder. At the top, look down. You will get an achievement for this. Next, pull this lever. Head back down and back into the building. If you want to see your goals, press G on the keyboard. Again, take note of the symbol on the door. This looks like a hook. There is another symbol on this door. Here we can see a symbol on this ladder. Take a note of it. It looks like a K. Head back out the door we came in and take a right. Follow the steps down and follow the walkway round. Here we picked up a new journal. Press J on your keyboard and open it. It's called Map Developments. This suggests there is something hidden in it. It seems we need something to uncover the hidden items. On the way back, you can see this door with that symbol that is above the steps. There is nothing inside to see. Head back into the building. Now make your way down the steps. We find a computer. In it, we need to enter those symbols. We've just found Vamir's secret office. In the drawer there are several items of importance. This one is for servicing a security door. This will be needed later. This document talks about a bunker system. This document mentions a code for the Pelska shrine, 4231. It also mentions towers. We just found Vamir's key. On the desk is Vamir's journal. Open it. On this page it mentions an underground railcart system. And here it says there is an underwater portal marked by this icon. Again it says the Peskla portal activation code is 4231. But it does also say that you need to use Flora and Constellation combinations. Here we see a translation of a local dialect. This page talks about a constellation number system. This section talks about active points around Neyyah where the Peskla portal can be used. There is the telescope. We have just found a dome key. We have just found a book on flora and fauna. Let's open it. As you can see, it lists different flora and has numbered them. We will need this later. Here is the salt device we used earlier. In this room, we find 4 figureheads. Each has a unique pattern. Study the patterns. We see they are made up of triangles, each in different configurations. On the wall is a box. Here we have to enter a combination. As we can see, they are triangle patterns. Match the patterns to the figureheads. And cycle through the last one to get the correct one. We can now unlock all the portals. We are done here, so let's now head back to the Golofiak mines. As you can see, we are somewhere we did not expect to be. Let's open the journal and see where we're supposed to go. Here it says we need to take a yellow triangle to get back to Golofiak mines. This is the triangle. We need to get back to the lab, so we'll use faster travel to get there quickly. Now we can unlock this button. Welcome to the lab. In this room there is a lot of information and items that we need, so take your time in looking around. To start with, we'll go through the door on the right of the elevator. This is Mason's room. We've just picked up Mason's journal. On this page it mentions something about a safe being carried, and that once going through a portal it unlocks itself. Here we see part text missing. So what we'll do is we'll try to use some salt on it and see what happens. And there we go. So the way to reveal the secret text is by using salt. And again. Excellent. Here, there is another reference to two towers. This mentions something about a Niyashka being lowered at the Niyelda system. There is nothing else in this room. This letter is from Smolax. It adds to backstory. Good to read. This mentions about mushroom spores and how they can be found at the sleeping tower area of Felitsu Island, especially near a portal. This document mentions the heater servers and that the Trondi counts need to be multiplied with another number. Here, the numbers are coloured. This letter is from Vamir to Smolak, and he describes how he's used spores to create lighting. This is Vamir's room. We've just picked up another journal from Vamir. Here, he describes that Felitsu Island is represented by a full circle, while the other islands are just half circles. Here is a picture of the spores. He mentions that the crystals are hidden somewhere, so it seems we need to find crystals for these machines. Here he mentions a canister, billix oil, in connection with a Velitron temple. This document talks about trapping Smolaks and how the orange Payeeta is required to power the Mayorta Gas System. Here is a picture of the gas mask we picked up earlier. We've just obtained the orange Payeeta. There's nothing more in here. There are 4 computers in this area. Let's take the farthest on the right. This has something to do with fuel activation, and on the right is a symbol activation board. Here we can see a similar board. Let's use it. Now let's see if anything has changed. Yes, it's saying that Niyelda activation console is powered. Let's do the next computer. This is talking about the Niyashka zone. Let's look at the center computer. This talks about the Banox computers. Here is a list of all the different types of portals around Neyyah. This is about holtish data. Here we can see some symbols, but the holtish is inactive. This is talking about Felitsu route data. Here we can see a blue portal, and we can choose between destinations for this portal. Clicking on the other destination changes to the Spore docks, but we'll leave it at the camera sector for now. In these emails, this talks about the security doors and how to use the card details for passcodes. This is that security card. Here we can see there are several cameras, but none of them are active. More information on Payeetas. Here are video calls of Smollux. I recommend you watch them to get insight into his character. We are finished here. Let's leave and do some exploring around the Golofiak mines. Just in front of us is a hatch. Let's take a look at it. We need a key to open it. Let's try the spare key. It seems we need a gas mask to get down here. Let's put it on. It seems this is where the orange Payeeta goes. It has revealed another portal, but we don't know its location. Again, we'll use faster travel to get down. Instead of entering the mines, we'll head back a bit and take a left to this building down here. Again, we'll use the key to unlock it. Here is a machine that reads the Payeeta's frequencies. We recommend that you record these numbers. We will need them later. This mentions 3 different types of spores. We've just found a withered spore. In this vessel, we've just found a processed spore. And here is a full spore. This talks about moving a guard tower to the Velitron temple. This symbol seems to be associated with the Mayorta Gas Portal. At this point, an Easter egg would pop up, but on my version it doesn't. This shows where the tower used to be. Here it shows an evacuation point on a beach and another picture of where the tower used to be. This document mentions that the camera systems are at the Skarliti towers. And it also mentions something about transportation towers. Let's continue. Here we find a door with a force field. We can unlock it with the key. We've just entered a new area called the beach. This chamber has an elevator in the centre. But first, we'll take the door on the left. This translates to sedation chamber. Here we find another Pelska portal symbol. This mentions an emergency chamber. Which is this on the wall here. But first, we'll look at these documents. This looks like numbering system. Make note of the symbols. This is the emergency chamber. There is something here. Key. A Skarliti key. This says where it should be used. There is something else here. A knife. Also in this box, 2 crystals. Red and purple. In this box we find a canister. We'll head back into the main area, but instead of taking the elevator, we'll take the door behind. This leads us out onto the beach. There is a button on this bench, but it doesn't seem to be working. Now we'll head back to the elevator. Here we can go up or down. Let's go up again. We need to add a Payeeta. There are no camera signals. We will need to come back here. We'll head back down. But this time we'll get out here. We are back in the Golofiak mine. Let's head back to the Niyashka pools. From here, we need to take the blue portal. This takes us to Pinavia. Use the key to open this door. There is much lore in this room, so do take your time in exploring and read all the books and the information on the walls. We will take the door to the right. Not that door. This one. We'll head down these steps and along this path. We have seen these eyes before. We will get to meet her soon. Here is another one of those devices. We now have some crystals that look like they fit. Let's try one. It does. We will not use them yet, as we don't know which colour is required. Instead of going through the door, we will take the ladder to the left. Another Payeeta is required. It appears this is a numbering system for constellations. This may be a 2, a 3, 4 is missing, 5, 6 is missing. It seems to match up with that document we saw earlier in the sedation area. 8, 9, and 10. Nearly missed this book. Again, that translates to the birth of the star numbers. Let's head through this door.
The warrior within me wants to charge ever forward. But as Pelska of this Validian, I must monitor, guide and protect. Peacefully. The betrayals Smolax committed will either be avenged or forgotten. You may change it all, or you may change nothing. The Payeeta harvest could flourish again, and the electrolyte shield might reignite. You could bring Smolax to this very point, so I can perform the passings. Or you might never discover what Vamir has been working on, and Smolax's poison will continue to infect the world. I know what you are. Do you? I have activated a barrier to prevent any arrivals in Neyyah. For now, do what you think is right.
It seems this is where we need to trap Smolax. But we are here to unlock the Pelska portal. This here is the Pelska shrine. There's nothing here to do. This is where we place the Pelska portal. Let's get it from the inventory. This is where we need the code. Let's open Vamir's journal. Here, it says Flora Constellation, Flora Constellation. And we know the code is 4231. Let's open the Flora book. So we need number 4. And we need number 3. We need this symbol. And we need this symbol. So this needs to be the number 4 symbol for the flora. That was this one. And this one is already correct. This, assume this is a 1, we need this to be a 2. So if we turn that to a 2, it is correct. Congratulations, we've just unlocked the Pelska portal. We now have a quicker way to travel around Neyyah. If we take a look at Vamir's journal, we can find out if there is a portal point on this island. Here, Minerva Point. It's at the shrine area entrance. Which is on the other side of this hill. Here it is. Let's go back to the arrival area on Felitsu Island. We need to head to the Sleeping Towers area. We know that Vamir mentioned that the spores grew in this area, near a portal. Well, these portals seem a bit out of reach. But there is another portal here. And here is a large mushroom. Let's take a look. Yes, there we are. Spores. Let's carry on through this portal. We are now in the harbour area, and we have obtained another achievement. We are now in the harbour zone, and this is where we are. Through this door are further 3 doors. This is the way we came in, and this leads to the dome zone. There, in ahead of us, we can see an elevator, and we're coming from a different angle. That's the craft we arrived in earlier. We can see the button is missing for the elevator. This was mentioned in Vamir's journal, but there's nothing we can do about this. We will go back. We'll take this door next. Again, this leads to another portal. We can see we are back at the Payeeta factory. We do not need to be here. Something we missed earlier. Down here, there is a bird lying unconscious. There's nothing we can do for it, except just observe it. Let's take the final exit. There's a pier down here. Let's take a look. Here is a switch, but it doesn't work. Here we see a button. This activates an elevator. Let's use it. Another elevator. We can go up or down. Let's go up. Here we seem to have arrived in a gun emplacement. There's nothing we can do with the guns. This looks like a lookout. Again, no interaction, but we can have a look over the area. There's nothing to do here. Let's go down. This looks like a small cellar. We can see out this grill. And there is a note on this wall. We can view the bullets, so it must have been an armory. Again, let's use salt. Here again it mentions 2 towers. Skarliti. This has been mentioned before. More bullets. Let's head back up. We can interact with this heater. We're not sure what it is, but there's nothing to do with it. Going back to where we came in, there's 2 towers here. Let's take the one on the left. There's a pedestal here, but it doesn't seem to be working. We can enter this area. Let's go down. This is where we first entered the area. There's another tower here. Let's take a look. There's something on this pedestal, but again, it doesn't seem to be working. We can go left or right here. We'll take left. Here is a lever, and what looks like a Payeeta receptacle. If we pull the lever, nothing seems to happen. Maybe we need a Payeeta, but which one? Close the lid. Ah, yes. The sun has bleached the colour, but we can tell from the symbols which one it should be. This one. Now when we pull the lever, something happens. Let's head to this tower. There's an elevator here. Inside there is a switch. Let's press it. There is a button here. Let's press that. This is important. We need to remember this. But don't forget, we can always get back to these in the Traveller's Guide. Let's continue. We'll go back up that second tower. Binoculars. It seems we have diverted power to 2 other binoculars that are storing symbols we need. Let's continue. What was that noise? Take a look. We just got an achievement. Let's go up this tower. At the top, there are 3 machines. One on the left has a lever and a button. Let's press the button. It shows a door opening, but it doesn't stay open. Change the lever and press the button again. Something is happening in that pipe. It's a force field that is turning off. Here there is another lever. Turn it to the right. It seems to be sending power to this. This box looks familiar. Do you remember it from the heater servers? And if we look out the window, we can see this pipe goes through this portal. We have something similar at the heater servers. Let's press this button. The box is powered up. Let's head down to that pipe. We can see there's a cart here and a boat. Let's take a look. This is the cart. There's a portal through this. This lever raises the cart, and we can take a look inside, but there's nothing there. This sends the cart away. But where is it going? We also received an achievement for this. Let's take a look at the boat. We just received an achievement. We are done here for now, so let's head back. Here there is a Peskla portal point. We can use this to head back to the lab HQ. We've come here because we need to get to the Spore docks. So we need to change the portal shift. Now let's get to the Spore docks. There is a Peskla portal point in this building, but it's not worth it because it's quicker just to get through to the main portal. We now need to go through the blue portal again. It's dark here. Remember, spores can create light. And there is a box here to the right. It looks familiar. Where have we seen it before? Yes, here it is. You need to put the spores inside. And we have light. Just here is a switch. Look at the symbol. It's similar to the device we found at the arrival zone. Let's turn it off. Let's look at this computer. Here we can see the two symbols again, the arrival zone and pin of ear. We now know which colour goes where. The red and the purple. Red at the arrival zone and purple at pin of ear. Activate this switch. To our right, there is a safe. But it's secured down. We need to free it. What did we use? The knife. We can now pick up the safe. Let's look at Mason's journal again. It mentioned here the safe went through a portal and unlocked itself. We do not have a key for the safe, so is this the way to unlock it? How do we do that? There is a cart here. That cart, is it the cart from the harbour area? That went through a portal. Let's see. We can place the safe here. Pull this. It is now being sent back through the portal. To our right is another portal. This is the Spore delivery system. It is automatic. We do not need to use this. We are done here. Let's head back. We need to reactivate this, otherwise this portal won't work. We need to head to the harbour zone. So we need the red portal. Our goal is to pick up that key, but while we're here, we'll add the crystal to this. We still don't know at what level it needs to go at though. So for now, we'll leave it here until we find out. Okay, so let's head back to the harbour. And there's the key. Now we're going to head back to the arrival zone again. We'll use this portal. This time we're heading up this cave again and taking a right, and we're going to switch this switch back to the left so that this door will open. We're going to take a look through the window and we can see down there's a device, but how do we get down there? Let's take a look at the map. Oh, there it is, the billix tank. Let's see. There's a button there. Ah, it operates an elevator. We've seen this symbol before. Pull this lever. Something's happening. Pull this lever. What is this? Let's take a look. It requires something. The canister? Yes. Press this button up here. It's filling. Take the canister. We now have billix oil. Let's head back up. And this time we're going up. There's a door here. And we are now above the Sleeping Towers area. And we found this cart, but it's not working. So, let's head down underneath the cart. There's a door down there. What's this? It needs something. The Jalood fuse that we got at the beginning of the game. That fits. Wait a minute. Back. There's a note here. What does the note say? It just says about the fuse. We've already got it, so it wasn't necessary to read. Let's go! This takes a while. Okay, we're in the Levandis zone. Let's find out what's here. Look at the map. We are currently here. And there are some microphones over there. It's a rest area. Let's view the wildlife. There's something else there too. A portal zone. Let's carry on. But we're not going to go through the doors just yet. I'm going to head down here. And to our left here is a large tank. And a switch. Turn the switch. Something's happening. Let's take a look over here. There's a bit of a beach. And there's a hatch. What's this here? Look, there's a marker there in the water. It looks familiar. Let's take a look at Vamir's journal. Here, it mentions the underground cart and the underground portal. That must be where the underground portal is. Okay, let's head back up to the double doors. Okay, we have a door with WSS on. That is familiar. And a combination. Where have we seen this before? Remember it mentioned here on the security service card. Mentioned the numbers. It mentioned the serial number. And in the email it mentioned about using the serial number for the combination. So which number is it? We've got two serial numbers. They could be the last four numbers. 7221. Could it be that one? Or could it be 8810? My guess is the second one. Tell you what. Why don't we give it a try? 8810. There we go, and it works. That's the right number. And what do we have here? Microphones. That's activated the microphone. And we have another one. And we've got one more. There we go. I think that's all for this area. Let's head back. So I think we're done here. We're going to head back to the cart. We'll cut that animation short. I'm going to head back down. Keep going. And we're going to change this lever back. Because we won't need to go back this way again. Now we're going to take this exit up here, this portal. And this leads us back to the same island. However, we're in a different position. Okay, what's this? Let's hit this button. The microphones have been activated. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to head back to the Niyashka pools and do some work there. Okay, on this pathway, halfway down, there is a device, a holtish server. I don't know if you remember, we saw this in one of the computers at the lab. It takes a Payeeta. Let's go and get it. Then on here, it requires something. It requires a fuse, but which one? If we go and take a look at the portal, at the top is a symbol. We need to use that shaped fuse. Not that one. That one. There we go. It's now active. Take a look at the computer. Yes, that's working. However, there's 4 of these, so we have 3 more to do. Last one. Okay, we're going to head now to the central walkway until we come across a device. Again, another Payeeta is required. Computer says it's active, but we'll turn it off. This isn't necessary for the game, but it will give us an achievement later on. We're now going to head to this tower. This is the Lodvik tower. We have another device. And yet another Payeeta. And turn it on. There's a hatchway there, but we don't need to go up there until later. Let's head back out. And this time, we're going to take the green portal. We are now at the Skarliti Towers. Let's head on down, and we're going to take this building on the left. Keep a note of that symbol. If we take a look above this computer, we can see a similar panel to what we saw in the the microphone control room. Let's press the button underneath. And it's activated it. Now into the control panel. Levitation system, we can see that it's activated. We also have this plasma shield. We can activate that manually. Let's press the button. Let's head back out. Now in this area here, there is some steps down. Just over here. There they are. And down here there's another lever. Let's head back up. Now I'm going to head back towards the portal. But before we get to it, we'll take a left here. We're going for that control booth up there. There's a control panel there, but if we look at here, there's a note. Look out the window first and we can see everything. There's the central elevator, and there's another elevator there. And we need to get to those control towers. Another hidden note. And again it mentions the key that we need for this control console. Fortunately, we already have this key. Choose it. And we need to add a Payeeta. Now we just need to activate the console. Something's happening. Sounds like an earthquake. The basin has been flooded. Let's head back down. Try the central elevator. Nope, it's not working. Let's go round to the one behind. But the walkway's missing. However, there is a button here. That's activated the walkway. Let's try this elevator. And yes, we have success. We just obtained an achievement. We're going to head round to this far tower first. So we have another code to enter here. What could it be? We got 5 numbers separated by a dot. Where have we seen this before? Yes, in the Golofiak mines, we found this PSF reader. And if you remember rightly, it gave us frequencies. So if you've written them down, we can write them in. So this first one is 3, 2, 0, 9, 3. There we go. Ah yes, it won't work without a Payeeta. There we go. All active. Perfect. Okay, we're done in this tower. Let's head out. And we'll head to this far tower. Camera power system. And the same again, we need frequencies. Can you remember what this is? It's 5, 8, 4, 3, 4. Again, we need another Payeeta. And we can now activate the cameras. Excellent. We're done here. Let's go back out and off to the final tower. Doesn't look like we need a Payeeta here. Ah, we can activate the central elevator. The Niyashka elevator. Excellent. That's working. So let's head back down and make our way to the central elevator. This is working. And here we are at the Niyashka zone. And just up here, if we take a look to the left, we can get another achievement. Now we have the Niyelda Key. Can you remember the combination? It's full circle, top, left and right. Excellent. Let's head back down. No, we're not going to take this portal, because in this building there is a Pelska portal point, and we'll use this instead, because we are heading back to the Golofiak mines. We need to get back to the lab HQ. Okay, what we need to do here is go to the console data, and we need to change the Duke portal shift back to the camera sector. We also need to have a look at the holtish data. Now that we've turned on these servers, they all give us a holtish count. The full circle has got 24. We need to take note of these numbers. The left circle has got 15, the top one has got 10, and the right one has got 7. These numbers are needed for the heater server. We're going to take a look at the cameras as well, and we can notice the top 4, that symbol was what we found in the elevator sector. Remember, the elevator sector is a green sector, so that will be with a green colour. This is the lab HQ. This is where we are now. This sector is yellow, so that would be green. This sector is yellow. And this sector is in the camera sector, which is where the Pelska shrine is. That sector is blue. So we'd have to remember that we need a blue colour with this symbol. And of course we've got one that's got no signal, so that should be red colour. Okay. We're going to head back outside. We're going to turn left here. I'm going to head back up this tower. Remember, it wasn't working before. But now we should have the signals that we need to activate it. We've already got the Payeeta in there. And here we go. This is where we enter the camera signals and the colours. Remember what the colour sequence is. We have red, blue, green and yellow. And remember at the top we need to enter the cameras. So the red one had no camera signal. That's what we decided. Blue, green and yellow. Yellow is where we are now at Golofiak Mines. Blue is that symbol. Green is this symbol. And there we go. Access the settings. And we need to transfer to a different signal location. And we're done. Let's head back down. Wrong door. Wrong floor too. Okay, we're going to head back to the arrival zone. Which is the red portal. I'm going to take a look at this map again, because we haven't looked at this since we've learned about the salt. And there's hidden symbols on this map. And obviously it's the salt that can uncover them. So let's take a look. What have we got here? Aha, of course. It says open the rock. Showing something there. And this one? It says drain the tank. Okay. So we've discovered some new things we need to do here. So let's do this. First off, I think we'll go to the dome zone and we'll open the tank. So I'm going to take this craft again, and what I'll do is I'll speed up the video again because this does take a long time. Remember this? We didn't have the key before, we do now. We're not the spare key, we want the dome key. There we go, press the button and something's happening inside the dome. Let's take a look. We have an elevator now. Okay, so we have some consoles in here. It doesn't look like we can do anything at the top, except maybe look at the a heater, maybe. and a symbol at the bottom. Let's take a look at the note, the map. And look at what we need to look for. And we've got this symbol there. The symbol that looks like a hook. Let's see if we can find it. And there it is. Click on it. And we can pull the lever. And it sounds like something's working. There we go. And look, we have a picture of a tank door. And a tank, I think. Let's go and see if we can find that. Fortunately, on the way back, we can skip the animation. Just like that. Okay, let's take a look at the other map. And it says here, open the rock, and it's over here we want to be, and we are currently there. So let's go down and find where it's over that way. Now, there was something very familiar about this rock. Let's go and look at Vamir's journal. And there it is. The underground cart. Okay, we need to figure out how to open this. It says something's over here. Okay, so we found a Peskla portal point. Okay. What's this here? Could this be it? Yeah, it's opening the rock. I think we found it. And a hatch. And we found a few pictures as well. They've all been translating, but if you want, feel free to try. I had to go at translating them. Took a while. Okay, what do we have here? We have a cart, and we can ride this cart. And through a portal. And there's that tank. And where are we? There's the hatch and there's the underground water portal. And this does look familiar. Yes, we're at the place where we did the microphones. Okay, let's open this door. Yes, it looks empty. There's a button here. And that's opened another portal. And now we are in the Velitron Temple. There is a device over there, but we don't need to go to that just yet. What we want to do is head to the left, not the right. We need to go through this hatch. And there's a cylindrical portal here. Let's take a look. Where did we see that originally? Yes, it was at HQ. And there it is. So So we've actually found where this portal is. Okay, let's go through it. And I think we found this old guard tower. We have a pair of binoculars here, but they're waiting for some signal. Unlock it with the key. So we have some information on the binoculars here, which are working but not completely set up. This talks about the spore docks and how to use the equipment, which we already figured out. We have a card with secret writing on it. This looks like a code. We must remember that. We need to remember the order of these triangles as well. What's this? Spectacles. Could they be translation spectacles? Another secret message. This one talks about the bunker and trapping Smolocks. Now this is important as well. We need to remember this. And we have here Volk cabinet sensors. We obviously have a button where we can activate them, so let's do that. Let's look at this computer. Aha, so the heaters are inactive. We need to activate the heaters first before we can get this machine working. And we have two symbols here. And look, it's for the crystals, and it tells us what position they should be in. The one needs to be at the top, and the circle one needs to be at the bottom. Perfect. So let's head back. Nearly missed this book. It's a very lengthy book. I do suggest you reading it. It's actually narrated, this book. But it does take a while to get through. Now, I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go over here. Because there is a door here. And we can open this door. And inside, there seems to be an old portal that seems to be rather run down and inactive. We also got these paintings on the walls. And some language, which we can try the spectacles out on. No, not the key. And yes, it translates it. The cleansing of the Payeeta. Wonderful. Wait a minute, there's something I missed. Just here. No, not in there. Head back out. We have another Pelska portal point. So let's use this. And we are going to head back to the arrival area. And now we're going to add the numbers in for the Trondi counts. Now, I remember that the Trondi counts were for each symbol. And don't forget, we have colours for each symbol too. And it was mentioned that the numbers need to be multiplied. So if you look here, the 4-digit passcode. So we can assume the multipliers are 4 for red, 3 for blue, 2 for green, and yellow 1. So this one is blue, so we know that that is 3, and the Trondi count for this symbol is 15, which makes it 45. On this one, it's yellow is 1, and the Trondi count for this symbol is 7. On this side, we have green on the left, and the Trondi count is 10, so that makes it 20. On this side, it's red with the Trondi count of 24 times 4 is 96. There we go. We also know now what height the crystal needs to be. So let's head over there. And this crystal needs to be at the bottom. There we go. Let's just double check. Yes, at the bottom. There we go. We're now going to head back to the Niyashka pools. And we're now inside the chamber. And we can now activate the heaters. Just we need to find the step ladders. Where are they? Here we go. Yes, these are the ones. Here it says about the Trondi counts. And here it says about the Lodvik tower activation, which we've done. So all we need to do now is activate it. There we go. So the heaters are now working. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head to the beach at Golofiak mines. So we need the yellow portal. And we're going to head down to the actual beach itself. So we need to turn round. No, wrong way. And take the door behind the elevator. Head outside. And press the button on the table, and there we go. And that gives us yellow symbols. We'll be able to call them back up later. And we'll head back. And we're going to use the Pelska portal point here. And we are going to Vamir to do some more tasks. We're going to set the crystal here. And this one needs to be at the top. Again, we'll double check. And yes, it does. We are now going to head in the building and we're going to go up to the two towers here. And we need to access these stairs. I'm going to take this door here. So we'll take the console on the left and enter Payeeta. There we go. And we'll look successful, so we can press to transfer. The right hand one, similar again. And again we press to transfer. And the center console, one more Payeeta. And we're good to transfer. And these are the heater servers. Okay, there is another tower that we need to get to, and it's up this way. And enter this tower here. And this takes our last final Payeeta. And we've got some codes to enter in. Remember the colour sequence again? Red, blue, green and yellow. And we need to find the cameras. Or rather the sectors. And there we go. Access the settings and switch it over to the selected. There we go. Now there's one more thing we need to do while we are here. So we'll head back down. And along this walkway there is a pier at the end. And to the right of this pier is a panel. And again we can see the triangle shapes. And this one's blue. Okay, we'll head back. Okay, we are going to head back to the old factory guard tower. And now we should be able to activate this machine. Everything's up and running. And we should be able to pull this lever. And again we found another book, another journal. And this one is by Vamir as well. And this is what we must do to capture Smallock. This is quite a lengthy book as well. Up to you if you want to read it all. Now we need to head back to the Velitron Temple. But first, take a quick look at the binoculars. They seem to be working fine, so let's go. now we head to this machine up here. I'm going to take the spectacles, and we need the code that's got a V and an R in it. We just need to check that code. Let's have a look at it quickly. There it is. Felitsu Island 6VT. So we need the V and a T. We can find the 6, and the Felitsu Island we can eliminate that one. Process of elimination. So let's quickly have a look again at the letters. So the V and the T, the first letter is a V, and the T is this letter. So we want the same shape, but with 3 dots and 1 dot. Okay. Let's do this. We want the canister. And here's the symbols we need to add. So we want the V first. Remember, that's 3. And the T, which is just 1. Okay. Then this, if it's a 1, we just need the number 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we need to find this symbol. And there we go. And we pull that lever. And we need to add something here, and we need to add the red Payeeta. And that wasn't meant to happen. I don't know what happened there. And we'll pull the lever over at the bottom. And it's doing something. And what do we have here? And we picked up another orange Payeeta. Okay. Time to head back. Now we're heading back to the Skarliti Towers because there's one more symbol we need to collect. Now if we look at this picture on the left, there's a button in it. If we press that button, it opens a hatch, and we get an achievement for that as well. And outside there is another hatch, and here we have the green symbol. So we now have all 4 of those. And we have another Pelska portal point here. We're now going to head back to Niyashka pool, and for this one it's just to get the achievement for seeing the creature in the water there. But as you can see, the spores are now, the roots are now down in the water, and now it's time. We are heading back to the Pelska shrine. And it's at this point you might want to save the game, which is I'm going to do, because you have a choice. You can do the good ending, or you can do the bad ending. There's 2 bad endings. I'll let you decide how to find out what they are, but I'm going to do the good ending, so you know what to do for the good ending, if you're not sure.
Whether free will is preserved, or fate foretold is stored, your choice is the fulcrum on which the fate of the world is balanced. The difference between peace and violence sways the scales. Choose wisely, one.
Okay. So this is the choice we have to make. We need to access this machine. We have some codes to enter here, but it's not too difficult. We are working on the flora numbers. Now remember, the code has always been 4231. So that's what the numbers we have to enter in the order. So what we need to do now is get out the flora book and look at what flowers they are. This is number 4, number 2, number 3, and number 1. Okay, let's see if I can remember those. So number 4 is that one. Number 2. That's number 3 is correct already. That's number 2. This is number 3 already. And there we go. Now these ones are the constellation numbers. If you can remember them, it's fairly easy. That's number 4, number 2, number 3, and there we are. We've unlocked it. Very easy to do this one. And now we've got one more thing to do. Now it's down to the choice of which spore you place on this receptacle. You've got 3 to choose from. You've got the wither spore, process spore, or the full spore. For the good ending, it's the full spore.
The passing has begun, and the barrier has been lifted. An alarm has been sent to the Ronaldo Temple on Ullajade. Smolax now has access to Neyyah, and thanks to Vamir's device, he will arrive in the bunker shortly. Thank you for what you've done. My people now have a chance to bring new life to Uzulta. To Niyelda.
And here comes Smolax. Doesn't look like he's going to be getting out of there anytime soon.
Why won't you work? Come on! Come on! Who do we have here? Did Vamir put you up to this? That man. He never ceases to amaze me. Karelta Volka lives. Do you hear his call? Like I do. His machine, breath, beckons to us through the Laflomian portal to Bragnarian, our true home. Your home. The Fazoltians were greedy. They would have drained us dry. I sacrificed their civilization to protect your bloodline. Being of the Banoxi bloodline, you must feel something. Earth and Bragnarian. The same. In time, your kind will become the most magnificent creatures ever to have lived. My masters.
Teleportation imminent.
Teleportation? So Vamir must have discovered the whereabouts of the the fool! You must stop him! The Quilirian cannot be reopened! It must be destroyed! In Corelta Volker's name, I hope you burn! You and the filth you will unleash! No! No!
Wow, there we go. He doesn't look too happy, does he? We're not finished yet, though. So we need to head back to the Niyashka pools. So we're going to take this shortcut. And we're going to head over to the tower. And remember that hatch that we saw earlier? Now is the time to enter it. We need to unlock it with the key first. And then put on our gas mask. And the first thing we need to do is to activate this machine. Quite simple, just press the green button. And then over here, we have to enter the orange Payeeta. Now you can activate the lever, but it's not actually going to work because we have to do something else first. And this is where we need to enter those symbols. So the first one, we need to look at our traveller's guide. And if we go to the Felitsu Island one first, which is the red symbols, and we need to look at this one. There we go. And we look where the dot is on that top symbol. And it's in the second opening. So we need to match that. There we go. But the next one, if it's got to be blue, is Paniva Point. And here we go, blue, and it's directly above at the top in the center. I will set that one. Green is Skarliti Towers. And here it is here. You can only just make it out, but again, it's still center top. I will set that one as well. And we've got one more. And this is going to be on the beach area at the Golofiak mines. And it's just to the right of the center. And there we go. And we're done. One more thing to do now is just pull the lever. And there we go. We've opened the portal. And we're back at the arrival area. And we now have a cylindrical portal to go through. And there we go. And we're back with Vamir.
In the name of Fizalta, you have saved Erlajay. You've brought renewed hope to my people and washed away a hideous sickness. After all the suffering it's caused, the Leflomian portal deserves to rust away into nothing. I vow that our home will never again fall prey to the filthy hands of Kehelta Volka. With Smolax banished, we can work towards a free and happy future. Come on. Let's power up the portal. But do you want to go home? The Quilivion may be within our reach. Let's liberate the Fazaltians. Let's bring them back to Neyyah.
And there we go. I do hope you found this video useful and that you've used it to help you get through the game. If you've enjoyed it or if you have been using it for that purpose, then do please leave a like and subscribe. Especially to get more content like this. I enjoy doing it and I would love to create more for you people to watch. Thank you very much and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye bye for now.